Dr. Kelvin has joined us on the show this morning, and we're going to be talking to him about health goals for 2023. Yeah, I'm still getting used to saying 2023. He is, of course, the head of occupational health and wellness at McLaren Health International. Dr. Kelvin, you're welcome.
David, good to be here. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you. We haven't experienced the health segment on this set before.
I know. I mean, it's a fabulous setup. I mean, I entered the compound. I'm like, wow. Like, this is a major upgrade. this is like the 2023 goal we all should have.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, health goals for 2023. What should we be looking at?
Well, I mean, one thing I take it from where he ended from. On God. You see, I mean, Nicole. You see, the thing is, as Africans, as Ghanaians, we leave a lot of things to God. You see, but in my little study and analysis of this same God, we realize that He's a God of principles. And there are things that if you don't work out for yourself, He won't work it out for you.
Yeah.
I mean, how many times have we not seen pastors drop dead whilst they are preaching?
Yep.
Because they are not being consistent on taking their medications for their hypertension or their diabetes or one of those things. How many Christians, how many faith people have we not lost because of negligence of their own bodies?
Yeah.
You see, and so it tells you that there's a part of this whole this whole life that is dependent on you. You see, prayer will not do it. Prayer is important, but it will not make the right decisions for you. You still have to make those choices for yourself. And thankfully, we have an opportunity. We are starting a whole new cycle. I mean, today is the 3rd of January. We are live. You know, it means that there's a reason why we are still here. And once we are here, it means that we need to lay out certain plans and agendas for this year. Just as you do for your children's school fees. I mean, you have to plan to pay the school fees. I mean, I have to pay school fees tomorrow, so
You've been planning.
I'm telling you, just as you plan to pay to do your retirement deductions, just as you plan to do every other thing, you have to also make health a priority. You see, because at the end of the day, we have one body, and it is this body that's supposed to serve us for our lifetime. And there's evidence that people who plan or people who prioritize their health tend to actually live longer than people who pray for long life. You see, so that's why I started by saying that prayer will not do it for you. You know, everybody prays to an extent, but it is only those who go the step further and do the action part. They act on their prayer. They are the ones who are going to make it to see whatever age they want to see. You see, and so this is why it's important to set goals. You know, and once you've entered a new year, I mean, as part of your New Year resolution, you need to factor in your health. It's not. Health does not happen by chance. You see, and the typical Ghanaian only comes to hospital when they are sick. You know, and if you do that, if you come to hospital only when you are sick, you actually tend to spend more money. Like, you physically spend more money, number one. And then number two, you are not able to make money
whilst you are sick.
And so it's a double whammy. You know, you are not making money, and then you are spending money. Especially, I mean, the people who actually feel this the most are those who run their own businesses. You know, so you are running an online business, you are running a market, you are a market woman or a market man. You know, you are not in the market to sell, so you're actually not getting anything in, and then you are expending. You know, so it's a big deal. So if you're able to put some plans and measures in place to help us, map out the year when it comes to our health, it has innumerable benefits to everybody, you know, and the country as a whole, you know. So it's something. It's good that we are talking about it today.
I guess my thoughts are going in the direction of medical checkups, regular medical checkups, and now I'm even hearing doctors are saying that not once a year is not even enough. You have to do like at least twice a year.
Well, once a year was never enough.
Okay.
You know, but you know, when you are trying to introduce a new concept, and this is indeed a new concept, at least to us in this part of the world, it's a relatively new concept. You know, so that's why we preach once a year. But ideally, it should be. Once every quarter is actually ideal.
Okay.
If you can't push it once every quarter, at least once every half year is good. You know, you need to have an idea where you are at. You see, and these checks, one of the basic benefits of doing a regular health check is that we know your baseline. When we say your baseline, you see, everybody, like, statistically, we know what the normal blood pressure, let me use blood pressure because that's the most common. We know what the normal blood pressure should be statistically for everybody. We say 120/80.
Yeah.
But you see, not everybody has a normal blood pressure of 120/80.
True.
Some people actually have a normal blood pressure which is far lower than 120/80.
I am an example of that.
Exactly.
Yeah. If I see 120, it means there's trouble.
My point exactly. I mean, and that's the point I was coming to. There are people who, by the time they get to 120/80, it means that there's damage actually happening in their eyes, in their kidneys, wherever, because their normal might be far lower. You see, now, if you don't have a regular checkup when you are actually normal, when you are not sick, then we don't know what your baseline is. So everybody will be waiting for you to go. Exactly. We're waiting for you to hit 140 before we start treating, by which time you probably will get a stroke. You know, so a health check, regular health check will give us an idea of your baseline. So that when there's a deviation from that baseline, we can pick it up quickly. You can even pick it up yourself, because if you do it and you look at it, you study it, when there's a change, you pick it up quickly. You see, so I mean, blood pressure check is, and again, blood pressure check is something you can do every month. You know, if you actually own a machine, you can do it every week. I mean, if you wanted to, you know, just check it. I mean, once you own the machine, it's yours, you can check it. And the best time to check the blood pressure is when you're waking up from bed, before you step out, before you get out of the bed.
Okay.
You know, so if you have a machine and it's sitting on your bedpost or your nightstand or whatever, you know, once your eyes open, you grab it, you slap it on your arm, and then you check the blood pressure.
Okay.
That is actually the best time. So if you check that BP at that time and it's high, then there's a problem. It's because when you get up and you start going about your daily activities, the heart pumps a bit more. Your blood vessels begin to constrict and then relax. You know, so it alters the readings. Or you might even hear some news. You know, you have to wake the children up. They start screaming. You know, it causes your blood pressure to go up. So it might not be as accurate. You know, so the best time will be when you're waking up from bed. You know, something like blood pressure, check it as frequently as you possibly can. Especially if you have a family history. You see, because blood pressure runs in family. So if you have a family history, you want to pay attention to it. You know, if you're overweight, you need to pay attention to your blood pressure as well. I mean, and again, another goal would be to get your weight as close to your ideal as possible. The thing about weight is that as you grow older, you naturally pile on the weight, especially if you have not been in the habit of controlling your weight. You know, so it pays to try and get as close to your ideal as you possibly can, and that takes time. You see, most of the time, because we really don't plan our weight. When we have a shock, maybe you go to hospital and they tell your blood pressure is through the roof. Then we are in shock, so we try to do something drastic. So we go and look for supplements, medication, you know, various weird diets, you know, fasting, starvation, so many different things to try and crash the weight. You see, but what it is that all those shortcuts, I mean, that's why they are shortcuts. They never give you a long-lasting solution. The best means of weight loss or weight management is to check your input, which is your food, and then check your output, which is your exercise. So a combination of diet or monitoring what you are taking in and expending will help you to maintain your weight. You know, because weight is pretty much like a bank account. If money goes in, money comes out. If more money goes in than comes out, the bank account grows. So money going in is the food you are eating, and the money coming out is how much energy we are expending. So for you as a corporate worker, for instance, you are not likely to expend a significant amount of energy. So you already have a challenge. So if you are not monitoring what you are taking in, automatically you are going to have quite a good bank account. You know. And
so you're talking basically about calorie deficit versus calorie surplus.
That's the thing. That's the technical name. You know. So but simply put, if you're eating too much and you're not exercising enough, you're going to put on the weight. So this year, try and exercise some more. If your work prevents you from being physically active, it means you have to carve out an amount of time a day or a week to go out there and exercise. But what you see, the thing too is that people are exercising, right? I mean, Saturdays, go to the football field, go to the gym, it's filled. But that's not enough. Consistency is important. When it comes to exercise that is relevant to your health, we are talking about at least 30 minutes of aerobic exercise at least 3 times a week. So 30 minutes of aerobic. When I say aerobic, I'm talking about it could be dancing. I mean, that's what everybody knows aerobics to be. But aerobic actually extends to jogging, swimming, tennis, skipping. You know, any exercise that forces you to breathe, you know, heavily. You know, so pick your what works for you. I mean, I definitely recommend tennis to anybody who is asking, because tennis literally pushes you every muscle of the body. You know,
my challenge with tennis, though, is that you do have the other disadvantage of a jarring effect on the knee.
True.
So I would rather say, let's say swimming.
But people are afraid of, you see, my people are afraid of water.
So I think there's a challenge with everyone you go
so that's
for.
why, so the thing is,
go for the one that works for you.
The one that works for you, but don't just sit down and expect things to happen.
Yeah.
You have to be involved. Then there's sugar, diabetes. You see, hypertension always is, I don't know what the relationship is. I mean, it's like the hypertension will go and then we'll invite diabetes to come. The road is clear. Come and join me. Let's have fun. So people who are hypertensive tend to develop type 2 diabetes along the line. And the other thing too is that the things that you do to sort of prevent or keep hypertension in check, it works for type 2 diabetes as well. Okay. You know, so once you adopt a healthy lifestyle, it sort of helps you to deal with these two major lifestyle diseases. And they are called lifestyle disease because it is how you are living your life that will invite them in. Okay. You see, I've had an engagement with people who say that, but it runs in the family, so whatever I do to come. That may be true, but there are also people who have hypertension in their family who have not developed hypertension. So what are they doing differently? They are monitoring these things. They are making sure that they are putting in the right exercise at the right time. And of course, I've also met people who say that something must kill a man. You know, so why waste time and then do all these things and then you still die anyway? Well, I mean, here's the thing. Statistically and in reality, we all die at some point. You know, whether you exercise or you don't exercise, you will die. You see, but I'd rather, I mean, live a healthy life, you know, and go out on my terms pretty much than to suffer and still die.
I mean,
anyway.
On that point, I think one of the things that I heard someone say, and in fact, for me, it was revolutionary, you know, in terms of the way my mind worked on these things. He said, if the good Lord gives you 90 years, what state will you be in at 90? You see, because the good Lord gives you 90 years, that's not your decision. But the state in which you will be at 90, that's your decision. And it's about everything that you're talking about from here.
I mean, do you want people to be happy that you are dead, or they should be sad that you are dead? I mean, because if you are always having to go to hospital, they are having to do one procedure, this other thing, something that you could have prevented. Of course, there are conditions that you can't do anything about. That's not what we are talking about. But there are also conditions that you could have prevented if you had made certain decisions. You know, even the kind of food you are eating. A lot of our food right now, we are eating a lot of processed foods. We need to try and reduce how much processed food we are eating. You know, I mean, one of the things I tell my people is that we need to move away from the white foods and go to the browns, the darker colored foods. You know, because the whiter the food, the more processed it is. So white flour, white sugar, you know, you name it, it's probably over processed. You know, so we need to check what we are eating. We need to exercise. We need to check. We need to do our health checks as well. Or when you combine these three broad aspects, it will definitely help you to set the right goals for yourself. Of course, individually, you need to know yourself, because you don't. For instance, when we say go and jog, jogging is not for everybody. You know, some people may have to start with walking. Some would go a bit faster, brisk walking, then to trotting before you reach jogging. Don't get up and go and jog if you have problems. It's because if your hypertension or your diabetes is poorly controlled, jogging could actually tip you over. So, you know, get a health check. I mean, it's January. This is the best time to actually get a health check to understand yourself, and then from there you can plan how you're going to intervene or how you're going to protect yourself from some of these developments in the near future.
Let's talk finally about lifestyle diseases and the key ones that we should watch out for as a result of, maybe you could say, the stresses in society, and so people make certain decisions and choices because of the stresses in society. We do believe 2023 will be a better year, but you know, usually off the back of a bad year, it takes a while, you know, to sort of switch into the goodness, you know. So lifestyle diseases, let's talk about that and what we can do too.
All right, so I think we touched on the hypertension and diabetes a bit. There's also the cholesterol or the dyslipidemias. They are all part of the lifestyle diseases. And as I said earlier, they are lifestyle because it's the way we are living, the way we are doing our things that are bringing them on. So the kind of foods we are eating, oftentimes our foods, we are using oils that are not just, they are I don't know the technical term for
they are rancid. The oil is rancid. You've used it before, and you are using it again. It's like
and again and again and again.
It's like, let me just say this in tree. What the ache, cocoa? What's handy ache body? What's handy ache
But it adds the flavor.
And you are going to use it again. This oil is terrible.
I know.
What's the issue with the oil, though?
Well, I mean, every time you see, every time heat is applied to oil, it sort of changes the structure. I mean, I don't want to go into the technical details, but it changes the structure. So then it converts it from good oil to not so good oil. Then the next time you apply heat again, it becomes not so good oil, and then it becomes bad oil, and we are still using
terrible oil.
And it's going to affect you, your health, because I mean it's just like the computer scientists will say, junk in, junk out. So when you're putting junk into your body, you can't expect that body to perform any better than it's probably doing. In fact, it might even perform worse, you see. So what you take in really matters. So we need to invest in our food. You see, here's the thing. Most people look at healthy lifestyle as expensive, and it's true. If you look at the fact that you're going to buy brown rice and then white rice is far cheaper than brown rice. That's true. But if you look into the future and you realize that when that white rice you're eating is going to cause your blood sugar to go up because it has a higher glycemic index, and that blood sugar going up would require you to probably go to the hospital more often to get your sugar checked, to probably start taking diabetes medication, to probably start having your kidney checked, because diabetes can affect your kidney, to probably start getting your eye examined. When you look at the overall cost of the effect of that white rice, it tells it makes you it makes you reconsider certain things. Then number two, brown rice is not as tasty. I mean, this is a fact. It's not as tasty as white rice. It's not. Which also then means that you are not likely to indulge in that brown rice to the same degree as you would indulge in the white rice. So you are going to eat less, which means your calorie input is going to go down. You see, so then just by switching to that healthy meal, even though it was expensive to buy, you are going to be eating it less, which means it's going to last you longer. And then you are going to take in less food, which means your calorie input will be reduced, which means you're not going to gain as much weight. You see, so the long-term benefit of actually living health or making healthy choices, I mean, it far outweighs any other thing. So don't look at the immediate cost of the fact that you are buying brown rice or brown sugar or whatever you're trying to buy. Just look at the long-term benefits. Of course, you can always incorporate some they call it cheat days or something, but the idea is that live healthy. You cannot be a person who does not exercise, and some people are actually proud when they proclaim, I don't exercise.
It's like it's an achievement.
Listen, I've actually just was it 2 weeks ago? I actually had an encounter with a patient who is not overweight, slim. I mean, somebody you call slim, and her blood pressure was through the roof. So it doesn't matter how you look physically. What's going on internally is what matters. And if you have been indulging in trophy and all these things, and your cholesterol is so high and your blood vessels are so thin, the lumen of your blood vessels are so thin, your blood pressure will shoot up. So it's not about how you look, it's about what is going on inside of you. So you need to make these decisions so that we can not only just pray for long life, we can actually actively
and enjoy the long life as it's being given to you.
Exactly.
No, I think that one of the things you said just basically for me sums up in my mind. Invest on the inputs and you spend less at the back end. I mean, you see, unfortunately in Ghana, we don't do a lot of research because we have other pressing needs, but a lot of research has been done in other places. And if you took the average Caucasian and the average black person, the Caucasian lives longer than the black person. Of course, genetics plays a role, but the health consciousness plays a role as well. They are more aware.
I mean, even on the streets of Accra, I mentioned exercise even in Accra. When you typically take a stroll around Accra and you look at the number of foreigners who are exercising, who are jogging on our streets, versus you'd have expected that there will be more Ghanaians
because we are a lot more.
Exactly, but you actually tend to find a lot more Westerners jogging than their Ghanaian counterparts. So it tells you that there needs to be a national reorientation so that we begin to accept that exercise needs to be a part of our lives. Unfortunately, our culture promotes obesity, so a lot of us we want to gain weight.
People have fun.
You know, and in my line, I mean, I'm a wellness person. So in my line of work, I mean, when you advise people to lose weight, sometimes the first feedback you get is, oh, everybody will say I'm sick.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so it's always you spend more time trying to disabuse the cultural perception, you know, than actually on the main thing. I mean, it's a major issue. We really need some form of national reorientation.
All right, fantastic. Well, Dr. Coleman, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you very much for having me.
Good goals for us to all get into for the year, health goals for 2023. How do people get in touch with you, Dr.
Well,
Coleman?
I'm active on social media, Kelvin Owusu MD on all channels. So yeah, let's link up and see how we can.
All right, fantastic.